everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are actually going to be discussing everything Peloton. Well, not everything Peloton. This is actually going to be my year anniversary of having the Bike Plus, and the only thing I could think of was, hey, let's make a review video. So is it still worth it? Do I still love it? Do I still ride it like I used to? Is this something that you should all be investing in if you're interested? So on and so forth. So we're going to go through as much as I can in this video about the Peloton Bike Plus. Not the bike, but the Bike Plus. So stay tuned. Okay, before we go downstairs, I'm going to actually sit here a minute and we're going to have a little chitty chat about the bike and the Peloton itself. But first, let me rewind back to, I would say, February of 2020. I believe that's when it was. Yeah. Yes, that's right. So February 2020. I'm getting all my years mixed up. I'm trying to think back. So I had my first daughter in 2019, and then I got my bike in 2020. So what I did was, I didn't jump into getting a Peloton. That's something I always stress to people. If you're not used to working out at home, if you don't know if this is going to be something that's going to be longevity, don't invest the money into a Peloton, because Peloton bike is expensive. It's going to run you a good $3 grand. So it's not something cheap, not something that you should throw yourself out there and just start investing for. But I would stress, if you do buy a Peloton, the resale value, if you want to sell it on Marketplace or offer up, anything like that, a lot of times you can get your money back. So not all of it, but the majority of it. They still actually sell pretty well on those types of websites or apps. So that's a good thing. But as I have told everyone, invest in like a cheap bike. What I did first was actually bought a Sunny, I believe it was SF 1805. I believe that was the model number for the Sunny bike. And I went to Sunny Health on their website during the pandemic. It took probably about a month to come in. I'm not even for sure. It probably was even shorter time than that. Anyways, I bought the bike. It showed up in my doorstep. I had to put it together down in my basement, and I rode on that for a good 8 months. So in November, I knew that, hey, I'm consistently riding. I hit my 100 rides. I got my t-shirt. I was just so amped, because the Peloton bike for me was not only just an investment to my health, but it was also an investment to my mental health, physical and, like I said, mental. So it's just something that I just needed. And I knew I couldn't get to the gym. Not only was it due to the pandemic and the scare of, y'all know what we have going on in the world, but also I'm a single mom, as I have told you all in my past times, in my past vlogs, that I'm a single mom. It's hard to get to the gym, and I know a lot of moms probably can relate. You know, just that mom guilt of either after work going to the gym and having to either have care for your child with a relative, or having them stay a little extra time at daycare while you get your workout in. That's like wear and tear. Like me, the mom guilt still wears on me, and she's almost 3 years old. Like, I always feel guilty like having to let her stay at daycare for an extra 45 minutes, or having to pawn her off after a full day of being in daycare, and then having my auntie or my sister watch her for another hour, and then when we get home I only have like an hour with her. So I just felt so guilty about having to do that so many times a week, just because I needed to get to the gym. And of course my health is a priority, because I need to be here for my daughter. And just like I said, with working out, it's also it helps me mentally, I guess you can say, get through the day, just kind of like releases some of those endorphins so that I can keep moving throughout the week. And it's just a healthy mindset for me. So not only is it good for me physically, it's also good for me mentally. Okay. So as I was saying, with having Peloton as a community that I could bring into my household, first with the Sunny bike, on just being an app user, was just mind-blowing, because first, I don't like working out downstairs alone. I love gym atmospheres. That was just something I enjoyed prior to going into the pandemic and being a single mom. Like, the gym was something I would go to first thing in the morning before work, have my group of people that I would hang out with. It was just a nice environment. Just every morning I would just enjoy getting up, just going to the gym, not only to work out, but also, you know, be around amongst people, I guess you can say. But when Peloton was introduced to me, I was like, let me test it out, test the waters, just to make sure I'm gonna do it. And then once I knew I was in it for the win, I was just like, let me go ahead and invest in a actual bike. So in November 2020, I purchased the bike. It took until February, I want to say February, it came in, so it was like a couple of months. This was during the time of when the delivery was so long, and it took quite a while for it to come in, but it eventually came in. Once it came in, got on the bike, loved it from there. I mean, you're going, like I said, you're going to pay some money. You can either finance it, which that was the route I went through. I went through a firm, I financed my bike, or you can actually pay it out in cash, however you want to do it. It didn't take me that long to pay it off, because I knew that this was going to be something I was going to enjoy. So I quickly paid it off and got it done, and here we are now. So I'm going to actually take you all downstairs. We're going to look at the bike. I'm going to tell you my pros, my cons about the bike, and let's get it. See you downstairs. Okay guys, we're downstairs in the basement, and here she is. I love my bike. So when they delivered it, of course it wasn't in the same spot. I did just recently get a treadmill. If you haven't saw that video, please go check that video out on my first impressions of the Peloton tread, which I am adoring right now. I mean, I have not gave up my love for the spin bike, but I am currently doing a lot of treadmill runs and walks right now. But like I said, I try to do this probably equal amount of time as I do my tread. But anyways, let's get back to the bike. So the Bike Plus, I do enjoy that we have the big monitor where you can actually swivel. Let me show you all how that works. When you do swivel, the one thing that a lot of people mess up on first is you got to sit it straight up so that it will not hit these handlebars. So when you're doing a boot camp, or if you don't even want to stream it to your television, you have the option of just moving your screen outward so that you can see it versus having to stand behind the bike. So that was my goal. Like, I love that aspect of it, that I could actually do that, as well as sync it to my television if I wanted to. So you can cast it. So I'm not saying anything wrong about the regular Peloton bike, but with the Bike Plus, you have that option of swiveling the screen or casting to the television, if you know what I mean. So that's just an option if you want to do that. If you don't, I find myself using the swivel quite often when it comes to boot camps and all that other stuff, because like I said, I'm a single mom. My child's down here with me sometimes, so when she's down here, we have Peppa Pig on the television, on YouTube, and I'm still able to work out with my Peloton bike if I'm doing the boot camps or even want to lift weights right after. So I do enjoy that portion of the bike. Let's walk through the screen. So with the screen, you just simply have your login. You just click on your face because you'll have that already set up, and then you have so many options of classes. My favorite instructors at the moment, if I want like a light day or just somebody that's going to say motivational speeches or anything like that, just like positive vibes, that's gonna be Allie. I love Allie. I've been riding with her since day one. Tunde is an awesome person. She's kind of like an in-between. So sometimes she's very motivational, and then sometimes she's just like, get your butt on this bike, let's get it, no excuses. So that's Tunde. We have Alex. He's just a hardcore, you're going to burn calories with him. That's all I can say. Cody Rigsby is also another favorite that I do ride with quite often. He's just humorous. I think he's funny. I love his energy. Just everything about Cody just says, yes girl, yes. And he's all about like Britney Spears, stuff like that. So I love Cody. Cody is one of my other favorite instructors. But once you're on the main page of the Peloton, you'll see, once you've ridden quite often, they'll kind of get the gist of who you primarily ride with and just stuff like that. So you're going to see your favorite instructors mainly on this first row, and they'll ask you about, hey, do you want to ride with so and so, because they know who you're currently riding with just based off of your history. So if you go to the bottom of the screen, it's very hard. I know it's hard to see, but at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see where you stack your classes. So if you want, me personally, I used to do bookmarks on all my workouts that I want to do in the future, but now I pretty much put them in a stack list. So my stack list consists of 10 classes. You can put up to 10 classes. It could be run, walks, bikes, strength, yoga, whatever, and you just stick those into your stack list, and you can do them during the time. So I'll put 10 because I'm usually doing no more than 2 to 3 classes. So my average, I would say 2 classes. So I'm either going to do a cardio and then like a strength. So I don't use up my 10 classes all at once. So I'll have that probably stacked up for 2 or 3 days, and then I'll have that on my stack list. So all I have to do is run downstairs, immediately pop on the stack icon at the bottom, which is right here. Hold on, I'm doing this upside down. And you're going to see your stack list, and it's going to bring up all your classes, what's next, so on and so forth. So that gets me straight into it. And I can also pull it up on my app on my phone anytime and also create my stacks from there. So I don't have to actually be on my Peloton to create a stack list. You can do your stack list anywhere as long as your Peloton app is on your phone, which I do recommend. So if you are out of town, if you are doing this at work, I mean, I don't know what kind of work you do, but if you're doing just a yoga class and you want to do it at work during breaks, anything like that, or you're out in the park and you want to do something, it's a take and go. So even if you go to the gym, you know, we have spin bikes at the gym. You can take your app there, set it up on your bike, and just pop in some headphones or blast it out loud, whatever you choose, and you can ride on the bike there while you're actually on the app. So I take mine from time to time. I'll do my either warm-ups there at the gym on the treadmill, and I will actually use my app and then put it on the treadmill and run from there, because running, I'm just gonna put it this way, running and the app goes hand, like I've never ran so much on a treadmill until I got the app, because the app just makes it more, I don't know, more interactive, to the point where it's not just the treadmill where you're just running and then you're just like, okay, when do I stop? 30 seconds, a minute, whatever. No, you actually have somebody pushing you, and that's the same thing with the bike. You have somebody pushing you, and you're not in a classroom setting, I get that, but you feel like it just because of the music, and then the instructors, you know, giving shout outs, giving motivational speeches. It's just so, I just can't put it into words in regards to the feeling you get when you're on the Peloton bike. You don't feel like you're alone down in this cold basement. You actually have like an audience, but they're not here physically with you. And then just the community at large, you have all kind of groups you can join. You can join groups on Facebook. I'm actually on, I believe it's the BGM, which is Black Girl Magic. I do their group. I do the Peloton Tread group. I do the XXL group. It's just so many different type of groups there. I think I have more groups with Peloton than I do with any group that I have outside of Peloton. So it's such a good community. And like I said, at first I was thinking it was going to die down. It's going to be something short-lived, but it's really not. Peloton is expanding. Here, so many different things that they're actually coming out with. and just the love that everybody else has gotten from Peloton, I just doubt that anything will, like, you know, dissolve at this point, because it's just a strong community and everyone loves, you know, working out at home. You can bust out your workouts early in the morning. That's what I choose to do here recently, is getting into the gym, my home gym, probably like at 4 o'clock in the morning, busting out my workout, getting myself ready for work, go to work, come home, and I can still spend that time with my daughter, which is like perfect. I don't have that mom guilt, like, hey, I'm, you know, missing out on either helping her out with schoolwork or playing with her, just anything to that nature. So working out in the mornings has been just like my go-to. I used to do that prior to having a child, and now that I can do it in my own home, it's just, I love it. So that's just one thing I would suggest if you are a parent or a first-time mom. Just try it. Try it like I did at first with the Sunny bike, or a bike that's on the market. There's Bowflex. There's so many different good bikes out, good quality bikes out there that you can just do a test run with before buying a Peloton. But once you get a Peloton, man, you're gonna love it. Go to a showroom. Showrooms are easily at cities. We have one here in the St. Louis area. There's a lot other showrooms around different states that you can actually go to just to sit on. They'll actually let you go through a class and you can see what it actually feels like to be in an actual Peloton class per se on the monitor, not in New York, but on the bike. Because if you go to New York studio, I don't know if it's open yet due to the pandemic, but they're actually had live classes. If you look back prior to 2019, you'll see some of their classes be filled with people, and they were able to have like people that had milestones come in. They get their shout outs while they're in the studio working out with the actual instructor. That's so cool. I want to do that one day, but that's a whole nother ball game for me. Let's get back to the bike. So the bike has a knob here. The knob here is going to be resistance on, resistance off. Press down to stop. With the Bike Plus, which you don't get with the bike, you do get the added bonus of being able to press a button on the screen after you have gotten the class going. Where the resistance part is, it looks like a lock. It's open and then there's a closed one. If you push it, it turns yellow and it closes. That means now the resistance is going to change as the instructors prompt you to. So if the instructors prompt you to go up to, it automatically is going to do that. You don't have to mess with it at all. It's going to get a feel for where you want to be, in the middle, at the beginning of the resistance, or at the end, because there's always a range. So it's going to get a feel for where you are after a couple of rides. So with that, you get that bonus, and you can move it up, you can move it down at your leisure if you want to. So this knob is still not just going to be turned off just because you have it on its set, where it's automatically going to move the resistance up or down for you. You can still adjust it however you want to do it. So you still feel, hey, that's too much or it's not enough, you can add, you can take off, whatever. So I do like that part of the Bike Plus as well, because sometimes you be in the music, you be grooving, and you forget, what did they just say? Even though you got the closed captions at the bottom, you still forget what they said because you all up in the music. You're like, hey, hey, and you're like, did they say go up 1 or 2? Anyway, so you don't even have to worry about it when you put the auto resistance on there. So I like that part about the Bike Plus, just because you can get the auto resistance. If you've been in spin classes, which I have been in spin classes since 2008, I've never had a problem with adjusting it myself. It's just, this is just, I don't know, more convenient. I can take it off if I want to. I can just simply hit a button on the screen and it'll take off the auto resistance. It's not a big deal. It's just, hey, it's there for me if I need it. Also with the bike, it came with weights. It was 3-pound weights, but 3 pounds are a little heavy for me. So I had some 2-pounders that I had just thrown around in the house. So I was like, oh, let me go ahead and put that. So when we do any type of arms and interval classes, you have your weights on the back. You can also switch those up. I believe if you get a package deal, it's either going to be 1 pound, 2 pounds, or you can get 3 pounds. I chose to get the 3-pound weights, which are over on the side with the rest of my free weights over here. And what else? With the package, you also get a Peloton mat that is at the bottom, and you also get a yoga mat. So that all came with my package. If you're a nurse, first responder, there are different things that they'll give you for free. I can't quote now what they give you. Sometimes they'll give you something, sometimes they don't. But at the time of my purchase, I was able to purchase the bike with free accessories upgrade. So I was able to get all my accessories, those accessories for free, as well as the shoes, which I did not like. Sorry, Peloton. I did not like those leather shoes at all. Like I said, I've been spinning for years now, so I know what type of shoes I like, and leather is just not for me. I want something that's going to be able to move with my feet and not just be stationary and just tight inside of a shoe. So I sold those to someone, and I ended up purchasing the Nike Super Reps. Let me show you all. Okay, so I actually bought the Nike Super Reps, and then I put the Peloton Delta clips on because these came with the other shoes. I put those on the bottom, and they work perfectly. You can actually purchase the Delta clips online. I bought a pair, and I'm gonna be honest, the pair that I bought did not sit well in these clips at all. They moved around too much. They wasn't tight like the ones that came with the Peloton shoes. So like I said, you can try to get the ones from Amazon and see if they sit comfortably in your pedals, but mine didn't. So like I said, I ended up just keeping my my Delta clips from the Peloton shoes and just sold the shoes without the clips. So that was what I did with mine. I do love my Super Reps. They're comfortable, they're lightweight, they're breathable to the point where they're not, you're not restricted. I just don't feel restricted in these shoes to the point where my feet go numb, because that's what happened in the past when I had some leather shoes, and you stick your foot in there, you ride for a couple minutes, and then your feet just go numb, and they always say, oh, your shoes are too tight. Yeah, that could be a case. So if you are experiencing that, check to see if the tightness, if they are too tight for you. But if they're not, it could just be the wrong type of shoes. I mean, like, one shoe don't fit all. That's the way I look at it. So this shoe might work for me, but not for you. So you should go out there, and if one pair does not work for you, go try another pair. There's, like I said, Super Reps are highly suggested through a lot of people. Now Peloton actually have something similar to the Super Reps instead of the old leather spin shoes, which is awesome. I'm sure they probably got that idea from Nike, like, hey, y'all are still our customers with those shoes, so let me do something. So Peloton actually came out with something that's kind of cloth-like as well, and it's a perfect shoe. So now we can talk about accessories. Accessories that I have actually bought for the bike, which has not been much at all, is the case, which I got this off of Amazon. I can put the link below if anyone is interested. But this is simply just like a little plate that sits on top of your Peloton
So as
bike.
I mentioned, the case is simply a case to put like anything you want. This is made by WF Sports. I bought it off of Amazon. You put it on. There's 2 clips underneath. Let's see if I can get underneath here so we can see it. Okay, so if you see this part right here, let me see, one second, that clip right there, and it has like these rubber bands that connect on both sides. Can y'all see that? And it goes underneath the bar, and it secures on the other side as well. So I like to put my phone up here, and I usually tilt it because it's like a drop down, if you can see that. I usually tilt it down, and I'm able to see. And then when I have my baby monitor down here, it sits on a stand, of course, and I put it directly behind here. It does not obstruct any of my screen. I can still see that. It's just a wonderful tray. There's so many different other cell phone like holders that you can have, but this is the one that I found that would basically cover my baby monitor and my cell phone at the same time, which is great. Another thing that I added to my bike is a seat cover. My seat cover, like I said, rode for years. I never get used to these seats at all. I don't care what type of seat it is. I need a cover. So I end up buying this from Amazon as well. It just slides on, tighten it up, and I haven't had any problems. It's just a little cushion. I'm not going to say it's still going to make your butt not be numb or achy for the first couple of weeks, but it's a little cushion back there. So I enjoy that part of putting that on my seat. other than changing the seats out like a lot of people do. I don't want to change. I don't want to do anything to the bike that's going to mess it up. So I just add a little cushion here, add my little tray there, and that's about it. So that's cool for me. Now let's talk about this screen. As I said, we can punch it on. We can go to your username, and then as I mentioned earlier, you'll have your favorite instructors probably around this first part of it. If you want to cast it, and this is going to go for any Peloton bike or tread or just regular bike plus, you're going to of course have it already set up on your Wi-Fi, and you're going to go down to cast screen, and then that thing is going to actually pop up, and then you're going to select which one. I will tell you, it will not be compatible with a Chromecast or whatever that thing is called. It will not be compatible. The only thing that I can actually stream this to is the Roku Express, or just like a smart television. Those are the only two devices that you're going to be able to cast this screen to the actual television that you have. I don't know if it's because mine's old. I don't know. So if you know anything different in regards to why I don't cast but only to those 3 devices, let me know in the comments. Down at the bottom, you want to have your home screen, your programs, your classes, your schedule, your challenges, and more rides. So this is going to give you all those options. If you want to take a program, you can take a program. I don't usually do programs. I haven't yet. But at the top, you're going to see all the classes. So you're going to have your cycling, boot camp, strength, cardio, stretching, yoga, and meditation. And the reason why you don't have running classes on the bike screen is because you cannot run on a bike. Same thing for the tread. You will not get any bike classes on that screen as well. Which is, I mean, it's understandable, but what? I don't know. Anyways, it's understandable why you don't have those. But some people are like, why can't I see the running classes? That's the reason. You will see all your friends on your friends list that are working out in the corner. You can join them by clicking on view the classes that they're in, and your tags. So when you set up your account, you will actually have different type of hashtags. Like I have hashtag BGM. Since I'm a police officer, it's like police woman. I have different type of tags. Actually, we might be able to see. Let's go to, we can. Look, so this is my home screen. If you want to friend me, I'm KW37. Yes. So overall, these are my classes. And so it looks a little different from my app. I never go to this, but this is how many I have actually taken. Total of everything, and that's 572 lifetime workouts. Cycling, I have done 334 rides. Let's see, how many have I done with walking? I've done 45. Running, I have done 60. So that's pretty much like your whole list of what you've done, as well as your calendar for like different months. You can go back to see how often you actually ran or jogged or ride those days out of each month, and which day you took break. So that's that. Let's see what else is on here. You have your calendar, you have your workout history. So if you're like, oh, I love that ride I did the other day, and you forget where it is because you didn't tag it or save it, you can actually go through the list and it'll tell you what day you took it, and you can click on it and you can actually retake that class if you want to. If you accidentally got into the class and you need to delete it, you can delete it. There's just so many different things that you can do on that part. And you're not going to know it all at once, but as you get used to the bike, you'll get to the feel of how it works in regards to classes, achievements, activities, and then last but not least, music. I do save music. It goes straight to my Apple Music. I did set it up that way. You can actually set it up through another, I can't remember who it's through, but I'm just with Apple Music, and I set it up through that. And anytime I like a music, there's a heart button next to the music while you're riding. You can just tap on it, go straight to your Apple Music saved. So boom, love it, love it, love it. Hey guys, so I just gave you a review of the Bike Plus, my 1-year anniversary. And if y'all noticed, I would totally recommend the bike if you think you're going to use it. As I said in the past, if you don't think you're going to use it, or just kind of want to see if you're going to like working out at home first, do those steps. Buy a
standard bike, use the app, and then you can go from there. And then if you use that for a while consistently, then think about actually getting the Peloton bike. But I'm not against buying the Peloton bike if you want to go ahead and just go out straight and just get the bike. Go for it, because the resale value on the actual Peloton 2 is still probably in a good range right now. So it's not something that you're going to totally lose out on if you don't ride it as often as you want to. So that's just something I like to put out there. I didn't go through any type of cons with the bike because there's not many in my eyes. I mean, everybody has their own opinion about the Peloton and if it's a good thing, the pros and the cons. But with me, there's more pros than cons. The only cons I would say that I had with the bike is the price. But you know, everything's going to come with a price, so it's not something that you can just get handed to you. That's just not the way it is. But the price is pretty hefty, I would say that much. So it's something that I had to put a lot of thought into prior to actually getting it, and outweighing if I wanted to pay that $39 membership fee, because that is also something to take in consideration, is that you will have a $39 membership every month. But what people don't tell you, if you have health insurance and you have it like an HSA account, you can actually take that Peloton app out of your HSA. So that's something that you don't even look at. I mean, you'll pay it through your debit card, or it can come straight off the HSA debit card, whatever the case is. There's some insurance companies that actually pay for the membership, probably for the longevity of you using it, or they'll pay for it for a certain amount of time. There's so many different ways to get around the Peloton membership, because it is considered like a health benefit for you. So the insurance company looks at it as, that's positive. Hey, you're trying to help yourself out physically, so let me go ahead and either give you half off, or like I said, just check with your insurance company. If you have insurance, check with them, because they have so many different perks out there that will actually cover that membership fee, where it don't even have to come out of your pocket every month. I believe there's a credit card out there. I cannot remember which one it is, but I heard that the annual fee is quite high with it, but they were actually paying for the membership as well per month, or they got a check back. I can't remember. Don't quote my words on that part. But there was one credit card I do know for a fact that actually helped out a lot of members last year. I don't know if they're still continuing to do that or not, but I do know health insurance is something that you should call. Ask questions, because a lot of people fail to do that. I actually called just the other day to see if there was anything in regards to helping me out more with the membership, which they didn't have it. I think they had one of the body pump classes that we could get a good discount on, that was $10, and there were some other classes. But check with your health insurance. Most definitely do that. You can either do it before or during, whatever the case is. If you don't have the app or the membership with the bike, you can still ride it. A lot of people get that mixed up, like, if I don't have the membership, can I still ride? You can still ride. It's just going to be a screen of you riding with your metrics. Other than that, the classes are not going to be there. That's not even going to be added to the list of rides that you do. It's just basically going to be cycling. You can have your earbuds in, you can have music blasting behind you, whatever you want to do in regards to putting music. But other than that, it's just going to be a ride, and you're just going to be, just riding. So you can do that without the membership, but it's not going to give you the actual classes and that energy that Peloton's known for. With that being said, that's pretty much all I have in regards to the Peloton and my likes about it and my dislike about it. If y'all have any questions, please comment below, message me, like this video if y'all enjoyed it. If y'all have any more comments, please, like I said, you can either DM me, you can comment below, and we can discuss it. Other than that, that's all I have. If you are going to go for it, I would also stress reaching out to a friend, or just going to a thread on Facebook and get that promotional code, so that you can get some money off of your Peloton purchase, and they can also get some money. So do that as well. If you know a friend, help them out. I have a code. I don't really know what it is right now, but if you ever want to use it just because you can't find anybody else, just message me and I can always look it up for you and give you that promotional code as well. But that's all I have for you all, and thanks for watching. TTYL. Deuces, 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 deuces.